All right, let's run through these 5 stats you need to know for Sunday real quick. We'll do each one in 1 minute. First one. Do you guys know how bad the Giants' loss to Washington was last week? It's historically bad. Did you guys know in the loss to Washington last week, it's the first time in NFL history an NFL team has scored 3 touchdowns, did not allow a touchdown, and still lost in regulation. First time it ever happened in NFL history.
Wow.
The Commanders, had 7 possessions. They kicked 7 field goals. The Giants still lost the game. They scored 3 touchdowns. They did not allow a touchdown, and they still lost. First time that has ever happened.
Got to be the first time also that a team didn't score a touchdown and didn't punt. Washington never punted in that game. Every possession.
That's crazy.
1,000 ways to win a game, man.
Yeah.
Mike, you know the Giants better than anybody. Is Brian Daboll getting fired Monday morning?
Yes.
I think it's not Monday morning. He's a good coach, but Daniel Jones.
This year he's getting fired.
Yeah, this year.
I don't know about Monday. Gosh, if they fire.
All right, next one.
That'd be a quick
It's
look.
about the time.
3-4
games.
3, though.
Myles Garrett is the only player in NFL this season with a sack and a forced fumble. Nope, and go up one. You skipped one. Maybe I numbered it wrong. Go to 3. I may have numbered it wrong. All right, drop it. We don't have a graph for this one. I'll tell you the stat. That's me. Myles Garrett's the only player in the NFL this season with a sack and a forced fumble in each game this season. The last player to do it in 3 straight games to start a season was Khalil Mack in 2018. It's been done 1 time in the last 24 years.
Wow.
Just Khalil Mack in 2018.
That's pretty
He has
good.
a chance to do this, make history. According to Next Gen Stats, Myles has 2 of the 4 fastest sacks in the NFL this season. The number 1 fastest sack was a sack on Dak in Week 1. The number 4 was a sack on Trevor Lawrence last week. Daniel Jones, in 62 career games, has 46 career fumbles. The Giants have allowed the 10th most sacks in football. The Browns have the 3rd most sacks this year, so could be a good time for a 3rd strip sack for one Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah, now we haven't recovered any of those. We don't
That's-
have a turnover this year,
No, that's a little
which
weird.
is a bit of a. It is. I
but
mean,
turnovers are so fluky.
they're fluky. You can't.
Year to year.
You can't count on them week to week.
I mean,
because-
the Browns got a safety. That should count as a turnover.
It kind of was.
That.
Yeah,
But it
is.
doesn't.
It should.
I count
It really
that.
is.
Actually, that's
Yeah,
the highest
it
for
doesn't.
them because you get the
You get
points and the ball.
Yeah.
but it doesn't count, unfortunately.
For the record, I did send the graphic right. That was a VMix issue. All right, number 3, G, you asked about the extra offensive lineman, right? Mm-hmm. How about this? Cleveland is the only team in the NFL this year to run multiple snaps in 0-0 personnel. That's 5 wide receivers.
Wow.
They also lead the NFL in plays with 7 or more offensive linemen on the field. They ran 16 plays against Jacksonville with 6 or more offensive linemen. 24.6% of their snaps had 6 or more offensive linemen. In Week 1, the Browns were dead last with pre-snap motion, 24.3%. Dead last in motion at the snap with 4.3%. In Week 2 against Jacksonville, that number jumped from 24.3% to 49.2%, for good enough for 20th in the NFL. And their motion at the snap jumped from 4.3% to 23.1%, up from dead last to 13th.
And that means that, to the point that was made early on this week on the show, whatever playbook was formulated and used in Week 1 by Ken Dorsey has officially been burned. And I think Kevin Stefanski went into the building and said, all right, we gave that a kick to the Dyers. We're doing it my way.
I actually disagree with that. I think it proves the opposite.
No, that's what Stefanski does.
The offensive
The motion was the Dorsey stuff.
The motion.
Yes, that was. But the sets, first of all, you're Jekyll and Hyde. That's an identity problem. If you're leading the league in 5 wides and you're leading the league in 6 offensive linemen, like, who are you? What are you trying to do here?
Well, it's only 2 weeks.
I get that.
I think they're trying to figure that out.
I do feel like Stefanski went back in and said,
Right, but Stefanski,
let's go with what we know.
Stefanski in the past has been near the bottom of pre-snap motion, and they were 50% this week. That was a big difference.
Nobody uses multiple linemen like Stefanski. That is his calling.
Well, who was? I think it might have been Bernie, who we had. I said a couple weeks ago, I just have a feeling they're going to be back to 6 and 7 linemen. I didn't think it was going to be week 2.
Yeah, it happened very quickly.
I thought it might be like week 6 or 7.
But
well, you know the NFL stands for not for long. You keep playing like you did against Dallas.
I love the fact that he didn't wait for the building to burn down to make a decision.
And who knows? This week it could
go back
It's
to
the
that.
one thing we said about Kevin is how do you win this week? What do you have to do to win this week? And that's what he's like. It may look like this week to week. And I also do think that they are still trying to figure out what is Deshaun's capabilities now. And that's going to impact some of the stuff that we're talking about.
I like it because if you game planning for the Browns, you don't know what the heck they running at all.
No, they're all over.
idea.
They're all over the place.
No clue.
This next one we've talked about, we'll fly through it real quick, but just this is a big picture trend in terms of the passing. We talked about the passing touchdowns being down significantly. 110 passing touchdowns through 2 weeks in 2020 and 2021. That's down to 69 this year, 37% drop. The number of 300-yard passing games through 2 weeks in 2021, there was 21 300-yard passing games, 23 last season, only 13 this year. Through 2 weeks, just 5, down 76% from 2021. Daniel Jones, 364 yards through 2 games this season. Deshaun Watson, 355 yards through 2 games. So potentially a new reality, which gets us to the last one we haven't talked about. Bull, you talked about the Jerome Ford over on rushing yards. It's a great idea. New York's defense this season is allowing 5.3 yards per carry to running backs this year. That's the most in the NFL. They've allowed the 5th most rushing yards through 2 games. Granted, it's 2 weeks, Bull, but before you say it's only 2 weeks, well, we only have 2 weeks of data to pull from. So shut up. Thank you. Jerome Ford's averaging 5.7 yards a carry per this season. And on his 4th down run on Sunday, that 4th and inches sweep, he hit 21.92 miles per hour on that run. That's the fastest recorded speed by any ball carrier in week 2 and the fastest among running backs this season. Jerome Ford overs, take it.